And yet, if he's talking about the physical body, the posture changes. And it sounds very mundane to say the posture changes, but it's really not mundane. It's a very profound thing, because the position change is relative to the ability to be receptive to gravitons, which is a pretty heavy stuff. You start to manipulate time per the position of the body actually changing, as opposed to having a good posture relative to correctness or conditioning. So depending on what circle you come from, I guess, you can, some people look at, like, what's the name for Earth, Gaia. So they're working to connect to that or to commune with Earth. But that's too picky. To me, that's too picky, but that's at least a different outlook. But if you're resonating differently, then you cannot not be helping it, not per an agenda of the Earth needing any help.
Right.
Yeah, so again, it's nothing very specific. And yet you, as spirit running as a body, the body goes upright and it starts to conduct more electricity. And you're able to offer up more energy to the grid. And personally speaking, it should touch all aspects of your life, right? Because as a higher biofield, it is, the reason you're doing it is to master form, so that the universe is not perceived as dangerous, as opposed to you becoming more the, what is the word? Sounds kind of Bible-ish, but like dominion. They're always saying dominion over stuff. And that must be part and parcel of it. Because even if I engage quantumly, things happen linearly, in the sense that I see bodies laid up on the table and it naturally translates relative to a sequential order of things that I engage quantumly, but it happens kind of linearly, and yet it just appears that way on the surface, but it's not linear at all. So nothing's really linear at all. It's just a perception. And that's it. It's still an earth skill you're developing. It's still an earth skill that you're cultivating. So it must have a learning curve. Otherwise, it wouldn't be replicable. And because I come from the healing discipline, other people thinking that healing is to be service of, and that's not necessarily not true. And yet we tend to reinforce somehow it still reinforces the old model. Not that people don't get fixed faster or better or more instantly. Not that that doesn't happen, but that's not what we're looking to reinforce. We're looking at the model behind why that happens. So generally, it's just an absence of wholeness, as opposed to a cause and effect because of this, or this. Whether it is genetic, or whether it is karmic, or whether it is time-based, space-time-based. even that one, you went back into the preconditioned breath, kind of. Right? So if you're going right there, you're going to feel that. And now there's nowhere for the breath to go. But now there's a place for the breath to go. Because what you need to do is detect the movement of breath relative to the new sensation of the translated psycho-emotions. And now that's different, right? Now you have more space here. So your biofield or your aura is sending out different attractive field. Your attractive field is different already. And once you collapse that potential, then it's good forever. That change is permanent and unconditional. Relative to having done something in the preconditioned state, which tends to have a shorter shelf life, and it's conditional in the sense that you're going to have to sort of tie it down or nail it down. And once you translate it, you don't have to even watch it. It tends to be free.
So part of running the process is, I just lost it. Part of running the process is becoming, gaining the faculty of the ability, or gaining an ability, or pursuing more so the ability of the behind the scenes, what's happening behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the quantumization of whatever's going on.
Sounds good enough.
Okay.
Sounds good. It's like moving the curtain and you see the wizard behind the Wizard of Oz, which is you, and also that, that same, it's been said it's been said so many different ways. Mm-hmm. And yet there's a difference between intellectualizing it and actually starting to resonate it. Because the body has to, because again, you can intellectualize with an unactivated body, which still, it's a start someplace. And yet if you activate the body, then it naturally starts to happen and you have the experience of it. And then you can digress and kind of talk about it. And rumor has it that, the DNA or the superconduction, and that's where the higher self or this and that, and this will interact. It's just hearsay. But again, it seems true if I follow the sequence of the model that I kind of pieced together based on my clinical or field testing, or even the intellectualizing of it. So less and less you're functioning less from a survival orientation. Because when you continually function from the survival orientation, you'll get sick and tired of it. Right? And you either keel over, quit, or just, there's a handful of options. And we see it in society all the time.